first and foremost, welcome to the show. And I just wanted to start because we like to go full circle here. So I kind of want to start at the beginning of your career, get to know you a little bit, and I want to talk specifically about like what got you started into combat sports. Reason I say combat sports specifically is because you're not just a mixed martial artist, right? You do other things like jiu-jitsu. What got you started, more or less? Was it something specific, a time, anything?
Yeah, I mean, specifically for me, it was my dad. My dad, he started training. He actually, when he was younger, he moved to Japan. He found martial arts there, and then he was doing some judo and some karate, and eventually he ended up moving to Brazil when he heard about jiu-jitsu and he heard about the Gracie family. Um, Moved to Brazil, started training with the Gracies, Hickson, Hoyler, Hoyt. And then when the Gracie family moved over to Torrance, California, he was teaching for them. So he kind of discovered martial arts, and it really, really had a huge impact on him. And obviously, Hoyt Gracie was one of the pioneers of mixed martial arts, especially in the UFC. And my dad kind of followed suit, and he eventually fought in UFC 22. So ever since I could remember, I've just been born into it. I've
Yeah, man, definitely.
done it since I was a kid.
Is it true your dad started jiu-jitsu with Big John McCarthy like 30 years ago?
They did, yeah. They trained together a long time ago. But I actually haven't asked my dad too many stories about it, so I'm gonna have to touch up with him and
Yeah, I
get
would
some.
assume the
Get,
more you win, the more that question might start coming up. So,
yeah, exactly. I know. I
right,
feel
right.
like it's funny that I haven't asked him yet.
So, do you have like a special like love for jujitsu among all the disciplines?
Yeah, no, I mean, I I have a special love for grappling, you know, and I say grappling because I just like all aspects of it,
Right.
not necessarily just jiu-jitsu, just the ground game, but grappling in general. Like obviously jiu-jitsu was my first sport, and that's what I grew up doing. But soon after, I found wrestling, and I started obsessing over that as well. And just the ground game is so intricate and neat, and there's so much like creative freedom in doing both arts with wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So yeah, grappling in general is just an absolute passion for me.
Yeah, man. So, your last fight, Bellator 277. The last time you competed in MMA before that, competitively, that is, not sparring or anything, but the last
Mhm.
time you competed competitive was 2018, right? Was there a reason for that gap from 2018 to 2022? Was it like you just wanted to go into something else and learn more about it, or
Um, there was a lot of things, uh, but like family things getting in the way. My dad, uh, who was my coach, and obviously like uh,
because you were still competing in
introduced me to martial
jiu-jitsu?
arts. Yeah, I had a couple competitions in jiu-jitsu, not as many as I would have liked to, but it was just a bump in the road for the mixed martial arts journey. My dad ended up moving to Nevada, and while my brother and I were in California, and we were just trying to figure out how to do training camps, how things were going to look uh, with the separation, and my brother and I, we were just trying to figure out what we were going to do moving forward in our careers, um, and then COVID happened and whatnot, and all that to put everything to a halt as well. Um, but yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that got in the way, and honestly, like I'm happy for that because I feel like maybe I was rushing to go pro and just get in there and do the damn thing, but I don't think it could have been a more perfect time to get back in there. I just have been rounding out all my skills, all my tools, and making the transition to AKA has been a game changer for me. And sparring with world class level fighters, training with world class level fighters, having world class coaches and people around me just giving me knowledge. It's something something I can't, replace.
So
And
you live in
it's
you live in that area, right? Around AKA. Isn't that where you're from?
yeah. San Jose for sure.
Yes, I'm sure that's convenient. So do you see any more futures in any more like tournaments in your future as far as grappling? Anything in the future? Or are you just going to stick to MMA now strictly?
Yeah, I think my mind is set and focused on MMA. I don't think I've ever been
Okay.
more passionate towards it. I've always been passionate for it. It's always been something I just absolutely love, and it's just burned inside me. But now more than ever, I can't stop. I can't get away from the gym. I can't. I think about it daily. Something something I cherish and love. So I don't think I'll stray away from MMA right now.
Yeah, man. So obviously you competed, we just touched on it, Bellator 277 a couple weeks ago, and you won via submission over JT Donaldson. Like, do you have any takeaways from that fight? Anything you expected, anything you didn't expect?
No, I mean I expected to get the upper hand in the grappling. I knew he was a black belt, but I've just been being put in jiu-jitsu since such a young age. I knew there's levels to the degree of belts, and I just knew that if I got him to the ground, which I was positive I would, just from the rounds and rounds of wrestling at AKA, I knew that I would have the advantage. But I was nervous and cautious of all things, just being out for the time I was, and I was cautious, but I wasn't surprised by anything.
So, how do you feel now? Like, how does your body feel after the fight? Any injuries, anything lingering?
No, I had the small cut, which I have no clue where it came from. It's just a mystery.
Yeah, that's what
cut.
I was wondering when I saw the fight. So I was like, when did he get hit with that shot?
Yeah, no, I looked. Originally, I thought it was an elbow that he caught me with in the clinch, and then I looked back at it, and it wasn't even on the same side of my face, and I was trying to figure out where it happened, but I could not find it. Me and my friends were looking through the video like 10 times trying to find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a mystery cut. You never know. Other than that, though, I feel great. I was right back into training on Monday.
Gotcha. So I feel obligated to ask because it's your division. Like, how'd you score the main event? That was a crazy fight. A lot of controversy.
It was good. I actually did have Patricio winning it. I think maybe 3-2. They were both very aware of each other's dangers. AJ hits hard, Patricio hits hard. They could both, easily put the lights out. So I think that made it a very technical and precise battle. But I did have it going Patricio's way. I enjoyed every second of it. I was right there next to the cage watching it.
Right. So again, obviously you're in that same division. Is there anything you want next? Anybody in particular?
No, there's no one in particular. Right now, I just want to get in there and fight. I kind of feel like I feel like I'm ready to start fighting everyone.
You want to start racking up wins.
Exactly. I want to start racking up wins, but I also feel confident in my ability through my training and through what I see in the practice room. I feel confident that I could start taking it up a notch with the level of competition. And
right.
Even going from fighting someone 3 years ago who's also making their pro debut to fighting someone with 9 more fights of experience than I had was something that I was actually super excited to do, just to prove to myself what level I know I'm at,
Yeah, man, it was definitely an impressive performance. The way you got on him and just finished him, you got his back. Yeah. It was definitely impressive. You can tell you've been doing a lot of work. And your boxing looked a lot better too, a lot sharper. maybe I'm wrong, but I think your jiu-jitsu does you very well in the striking aspect, because anytime you even entertain the jiu-jitsu, it opens up the boxing a lot in your fights from what I've seen. And then that's when you really start to let it go.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think the threat of the takedown is what puts together the striking as well.
Yeah, man.
If I chose to just strike with him and not threaten him with any sort of grappling, then the fight might have been slightly different. But yeah, just putting it all together. You know, it's mixed martial arts for a reason. If we can exploit all the tools and use them all and be free out there, then I'm a dangerous man.
Yeah. So do you feel like you're close to like ranked guys and level? Do you feel like you could take them on now in a year, 2 years, something along those lines?
Um, Personally, skill level, yes, I do think I'm close. But I'm in no rush. You know, I'm young and I'm hungry. I'm training hard. I feel physically great. So I'm in no rush to chase those guys, but I think it's inevitable that I'll meet them soon.
So that's the path for you to start getting the ranked guys. Just keep beating whoever Bellator puts in front of you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love fighting. I love it. I absolutely enjoy it. So being out there and being in that cage, it feels free. It feels like, it feels like my home.
So what is like the end goal for all this? Do you want to be a world champion? Do you want to be somebody that people said, oh, he put on great fights, but was never a champion, but still entertained us? Like, what kind of fighter do you want to be known as? Is that even anything you want to be known as? Do you just want to make your father proud? Like, what's your end goal here?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I do want to be a champion. I want to be a world-class, elite-level fighter. And, I feel like just the product of my dad putting in work and my brother and all the people around me.
Is your brother a fighter as well?
He has a couple professional mixed martial arts fights, yeah. But he's focused on jiu-jitsu. He's a jiu-jitsu world champ, so
I'm sure it helps to roll with him then.
Oh, it's absolutely awful to roll with him. He's a killer.
Yeah, because you seem to have a very clear jiu-jitsu advantage in most of your fights. So I think that's a great tool for you moving forward, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Blending it into the MMA aspect is the thing I just want to dial in completely, because jiu-jitsu is one thing. Sport jiu-jitsu is its own thing, and then jiu-jitsu for MMA is almost completely different. So,
yeah. But
it does help to just train with Elias, my brother, every single day. But yeah, like I said, I feel like I owe it to them and to the people that push me and to the people that believe in me to give everything to the sport, and giving everything means trying to be the best in the world.
Yeah. When did you start feeling comfortable in the striking? Or do you feel like you're just a natural and you picked it up really good at first? Like, when did you start feeling like, all right, I can strike really well in a fight. I'm confident enough to keep the fight on the feet?
Yeah, it's funny because John McCarthy was saying that I took the time to, get comfortable in the striking and that it wasn't quite there. But, boxing didn't come too long after, like, the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling for me. Obviously, my dad put me in jiu-jitsu first. He put me in wrestling, and then when I was like 10 years old, he started bringing us to the boxing club. He always envisioned my brother and I being MMA fighters,
Wow.
So he didn't skip out on any weapon. He made sure that we're boxing. He made sure that we're kicking. But yeah. I mean, obviously, like the grappling is my comfort zone. But I have great striking coaches. I work with my brother, and then I work with my coach Gary Owen. he's just rounded out everything for me so well. He's so sharp. He catches me making mistakes every day. Every day there's a new mistake. There's something to catch, something to correct it. You know, it makes me excited to work with him. You know, I
Yeah.
can't just go out there and hit pads for an hour. I get caught making one mistake and I'm down doing push-ups. You know.
How many
So
fights have you been with AKA now?
that was my first one. And
Gotcha.
many more to come.
How do you
You
feel?
know,
How does the difference feel? So from obviously transitioning to a new camp, how did that? Because obviously it takes time to adjust, right? Do you feel like there was a tough adjustment to get in there, like a tough transition, or did you just feel like you fit right in and when you started fighting, it was all good?
Yeah, to be honest, like I honestly do feel like I fit right in. As soon as I stepped in the door, I think it was like a week in. They asked me to spar one of the pro guys, and um, it was a fun session, and I enjoyed every second of it. And then we got the grappling rounds, and yeah, I mean I fought not too long after training there. I mean, they just made it happen for me, and it's been a blessing to be there, a real blessing.
Yeah. So is there any stuff you like to do in your downtime aside from fighting? Any big hobbies you have aside from like watching anime? Any stuff?
Besides watching,
What's your favorite anime, by the
yeah.
way?
Favorite?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it would be wrong not to say Naruto because
You're
I have
kidding. Dude, that's
I
my
have
favorite
Naruto
anime ever
tattooed on
too.
me.
That's my favorite anime
Really?
of all time. Hell yeah, dude. Naruto Shippuden. That's the
Oh
good
yeah,
stuff, man. I think that's the best
yeah.
anime.
It is. I agree. I have Rock Lee tattooed on my arm. So
Really?
yeah, I
Oh
do.
shit, that's awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Going Israel
but
Adesanya on it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure him and I could geek out for hours on anime. But yeah, I mean, I just love like getting movement in. I love sitting in the sun. I love going to the beach. I don't know. Anytime I can hang out with my friends and my family, that's time I cherish. So it doesn't really matter what I'm doing. I don't have like any like hobbies or interests outside of martial arts. I just enjoy being with friends and family and
Yeah.
doing whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Sounds great, man.
So, yeah.
Well, listen, I appreciate you calling into the show. Best of luck in your future. We'll keep a close eye on you. We'll be rooting for you. And yeah, man, all the best.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.